which is an app that we are on. It's like the DSTV of radios. You can just simply find us next to 702 SAFM and all those other radio stations. You can download the app and select 1912 radio and be able to listen to us from wherever you are. You can also go to iono.fm, which is the easiest and cheapest way to be able to catch us on 1912 radio. And you can also go to our website, ancjoburg.org, and click on listen live, and you can listen to us right there. And soon look forward to an ANC app that has been put together by ANC National Office, and they came yesterday and told us about this brand new app, and they're hoping to get about 200,000 downloads. Now you can imagine if 200,000 people or members of the ANC download that one app, we'll be able to reach just as many people and who are members of the African National Congress. With me today, my guest, Sipho, and we are talking about the issues of Joburg water and the issues somewhat like us. We're talking about the state of financial affairs within the city, or what went wrong, especially when you look at the issues electricity and the finances of the city. And OCD now bringing it back to, you know, looking at an area like Boselby, Botefontein, and where the Ward 124 by-elections are going to be, 2023. I mean, there's a whole lot of issues, something like us, especially about hijack buildings, ba subleta lindlu, and I mean, what can be done about
For starters, that puts a strain on the resources, that you're having more people in a household that are not supposed to be in that house. You know, so it does cause a strain for and even just the provision of the service, including the infrastructure as well. So what we need to do is to work with the bylaw enforcement people. You know, houses are zoned for households, not for letting. You know, deal with those issues, as well as bringing people to understand for them to continue getting these resources, they actually need to pay for them. You know, for me that is the issue. But we need to engage them, understand their state of financial stability. Some of them, you know, because they don't have homes, and see through the necessary processes how can we help, including involvement and social development. So that is why you have this thing of drugs, of teenage pregnancy, and all these social ills coming out of these areas. So, but we need to work with social development for us to be able to break the camel's back. So for me, that's that. Engaging the community, making them understand who they have a responsibility themselves. It is not just government's responsibility. It is a collective responsibility where all of us need to work in ensuring that the services are provided and the services are paid for. For me, that's that in terms of water and electricity. One thing that we also need, I mean, we did a walkabout with Deputy President on Saturday on some of these areas. Some of them were fairly clean, but most of them were very dirty. So we need to take pride in our own areas, and because it's depend on pick it up to keep them clean. Work as a community, maybe but to pick it up, and the businesses around the area to keep the area clean and looking good. You know, because it is our area. I mean, I can't imagine where I'm staying. Are just coming out in the corner and leave it like that, and it becomes a normal situation. You know, kids play there. So we had agreed that we will try and engage, pick it up. I could play the skips. We'll try and engage, pick it up to see if they can give them a skip. But most of the time where you have skips, that is where you have so, but we need to take a conscious decision as human beings and others, people living in these areas, to keep them clean, you know, keep them nice, so that it's us tomorrow, at the end of the day, who are staying in these areas. It's not some government official that stays there, but it is us, the community. So I think we need to work together and make sure that we do sort out some of the issues that we're seeing in our areas.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, we're going to people must keep their own areas clean, and time and time again, I mean, these areas, good informal settlements. I mean, what makes people, you know, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, there's one thing that we battled to deal with even when we were still in the city.
Yeah.
You know, but we had programs like Separation at Source where we felt through the program of Separation at Source, people can sift what they can reuse, sift what they can sell, and then we will come and take what they can't use and what they can sell. You know, and we will still come as the ANC with that program so that we ensure that in our communities, people can make money out of the waste that they're generating. Because, I mean, you know, so, but there are these ideas that could assist us in putting food on the table. So we would still come and engage with what Councillor Starona in our communities on how to ensure that we implement separation at source. But I don't understand. I'm because I'm not a driver.
Hey, wait.
You know, I was driving behind somebody yesterday, and he just opened, and I was like hooting like I'm some mad person behind him. You can't do that.
And then
no, exactly. But if you don't throw waste in your own sitting room or in your own dining room, you know, don't just throw it on our streets. You know, don't, because ultimately it gets into the river system, then it pollutes our rivers. You know, it pollutes our streams, it pollutes, that is where polluting, the streams and the rivers comes from, because people are so, don't care, you know, they just don't care. I mean, there are people who have a mentality where they have to throw to create jobs. You know, but in areas where they're throwing, there's nobody that's going to come and pick up.
But you know, I mean, you know, without interjecting you there, but, you know, is the education the problem? But
no, it's a mentality thing, and right. I mean, how do you want to cover only the ideas, only the answers for everything? The best way is to start it go primary. Go crashing, go to primary, and that is, we had a program go pick it up where we took the superheroes to schools to talk about. I mean, that, for me it worked because I know it went to one school called Ivory Park, and I met these kids. They were plastic because the group had been to them. You know, so you teach a child, then you are guaranteed who you are teaching somebody, you are rearing up somebody, you know, and what they learn go school, you can't do because it look like Papa, why are you doing that? Exactly, no, get the characters about. And but not that very opinionated. So but when you are throwing, and they were taught at school not to throw away waste anyway. You know, so but then it goes with education and awareness. It's something that we have to continue doing, even to the adult population as well. Continue talking to them. Ultimately, one of them will be whatever they're doing is wrong. But it is so wrong. I mean, when adults throw waste, it rubs me off in a very wrong way, because I feel we are being irresponsible as adults, and we are not setting a proper example for our own kids.
Creating jobs.
But not even knowing who's going to which job, where and how, where are the resources, you know. I mean, but plastic or which is very unfortunate. I mean, as a community, we just need to take care of ourselves, you know, because if we don't, what example as adults are we leaving for our kids? So keeping our areas clean, ensuring that we don't steal water, we don't steal electricity, is something that we need to do so that our kids become responsible adults themselves. You know, because if we don't become responsible, then you are really killing the future of the country.
Absolutely. Oh, Siri, I've got some voice notes that have just come through. It's people on the ground who want to participate in this conversation. So I want us to cross over and listen to what they have to say on the ground. Let's take a listen.
Assist youth, many simise kancane nje. Kumele siatheke labantu laba abathengisa ama drugs ekhasi ngoba siyabazi abobani. Siyabasekela ukubaxoxa nje ukuthi hayi ubani bani sekaphethe imoto kanje sekama ikari kanje siyabazi ukuthi abobani.
The issue of drugs comes time and time again in an area like Ward 124, and asiko kotemfela. I mean, ikasaruna kaofela, there are issues such as drugs. I mean, with us wanting to win over the hearts and minds of the people of Ward 124, they're facing serious issues, study drugs. What can be done, Katson?
Now my attitude to pocket drugs is that it needs to start in my house. Look, I'm a mother of 2 boys. I have to understand their behavioral changes. I have to understand how they behave. You know, first because if you see your child behaving, the behavior changing, then you have to be worried about what makes that change. You know, then at home you become a parent. So one thing that I foresee is that as parents we have delegated parenthood out of the home.
True.
You know, we've delegated parenthood to the teachers, we've delegated it to the society, and we refuse to take responsibility as parents. I agree with the person that is speaking who says we must deal with this because they are known, they're living in our communities. You know, and in dealing with them we have to involve the law. The law enforcement, because and we must also avoid being xenophobic. One of the issues that they tend to take a xenophobic nature, you know, without really understanding what we have by law enforcement channels that we can use, but your fight with the drugs and robberies and all these things starts in the home. Remember, the parents, both mother and father, must be able to ask the child questions. You know, if like for mutakena kutunga to take some rekelanyona, you know, so if a guy like it can't get into my house, you know, I'm feeding the child, I'm buying clothes for him or her. So especially if you want to get on school, you know, for any, what is he or she lacking in the home that makes her or him to go out of the house. So as a parent we must be able to pick up on these things. Then as a community here, as a community we need to rally around our kids and protect them. You know, then if a community is united in protecting their kids, then all these drugs and all these people that are selling all these funny things won't come in. But we need a society that is working with the police, working together. Because if every year, the 1st of July, the new tariffs come in, some of them are not determined by the city itself, but determined by outside bodies like Bonelsa, and Water. But we need to, council need to communicate with people who are with this effect from the state, the tariffs are going to change. Number 2, there is this thing there are people who are preaching, which is true, and we did a study with Joburg Water and we found some people are bridging because they are assisted by the very employees of the city. You know, because I mean, and my argument was, how does Nkunu Wakotladi know how to bridge a meter? I mean, she knows nothing about it, but then, but I'm confused. Hey, meter na lutata, but the reason by bridge, about 150 to 250 for her to pay them. So there's something that we had identified that Joburg needed to clean. City Power had identified that as well, and we had a program that they were going to implement to clean those meters so that people can pay properly. Boma stand as well, you know, so it's a conversation that we must have with that it doesn't help to the next which is how even the government as well. You know, that's the second part. The third part, it is important for us to keep track of what is happening in our situations. You know, both men need to know what is the story. We gave each and every household 6 kiloliters of water free because we understood that our people, most of them are not in a position to buy and pay for water. So those free liters, I mean, there were people who never actually had to buy water at all because they used the 6 kiloliter free water sparingly and used it properly. These people, the new administration have decided to take it away. So we are going to have our people who are at a point are not going to have water, which is very unfortunate. And we were looking at a market. There are people who are earning is not enough. We're looking at those types of situations. So there are people who are not earning enough for them to satisfy all their needs. You know, not their wants, all what they need to survive. So this 6 kiloliter free of water was covered in those types of situations already. But enough, but they can still have this basic basic service that is water, which they need to survive on a daily basis. So they have taken it away. We tried to fight it, but then the chief they had made his own decision. He's not going to listen to anybody. Once his mind is made up, it's made up. So they are supposed to be rolling out the registration at ESP. We haven't seen it because they said people must register on ESP for them to
that's the
continue getting
expanded
water.
social package.
Yes, and that is what we did anyway. You know, it was still the program that we did, but for now we had strategy debate that it included water, it included electricity, it also included placing people in job opportunities as and when they came out in the city. So we used that ESP register for those types of things. Job pathways programs was linked to the ESP, you know, Bovulindlela Ejozi was linked to the ESP, so that when we know for the inner household there are this number of people who are able to work but they can't, then we are able to say there are job opportunities in the city, direct them that way. So they've cancelled all those programs, unfortunately. But then at the end of it all, it is our responsibility to make sure that we work together and get the services that we need to get from government.
Absolutely. If you just tuned in, thank you very much for tuning in to 1912 Radio. Lebone ba eleng gore le re shebile ka di Facebook, we appreciate it. And I'll mention all of you. I see David D here is putting down a note of everybody who's watching us on Facebook Live. And Leko Osirimfikwe, she's doing a Facebook Live. And of course, thank you very much for doing that. Let's take a break and then Haribo two more people, and then we can wrap up our conversation. I know you've got a meeting, and I need to let you go. And Comrade Noncebo, but I don't see where she is at this point. But we'll just listen to two more people, and then I will let you go to attend the meeting.
The programs that our ESP will be brought back, so that, I mean, the lady sounds to be an old lady as much as she's staying with her daughter. But then she needs support, and hoping through those programs she will be assisted. The guy talks about programs for youth to deter them from drug abuse. I mean, they cancelled our programs, Valkyrie Vanity projects. You know, and those programs were meant to keep the youth intact. And one program that I'm still hoping that as the ANC we can manage to get is this Microsoft program. You know, I mean, Microsoft had offered to support 1 million people, including young people. Then this guy decides to it's a vanity project. When the city was not even going to pay a cent for the program. So that's one program that I would really love the chair to pursue, like either as Salga or in his role as the president of UCLG, that we get the program to come back and we are able to get our young people participating in that. I mean, Bovulindlela Ejozi, you know, Bobo online varsities that he's cancelled. Those were programs to empower young people so that Batsoko Strate have something to do. But he decided to but then as the ANC, we will continue seeking programs and partnerships with either the provincial government or the national government for them to take over some of this program. I'm happy that the provincial government has taken over the Josie at Work program and doing it as Gauteng government. So those programs we will, but we hear what they're saying. As we perfect our way of engaging with communities, we will have to respond to those issues that they are raising. We are worried about the drug impact on our young people. We need to deal with those situations and issues.
Absolutely. Osirimfikwe, you love music?
I do. And I love your background music. It's so nice.
Really?
You know? No, look, it depends on the mood. I do love music. I have tons and tons of CDs at home. My phone is loaded with music. So it depends. So it depends on the mood. I will wake up in the morning and feel like doing gospel. Then I make gospel. And I sing. I can sing in my car only. Anywhere else I don't know how to sing. So I sing gospel, I do R&B, I do soul, I do local music, you know. My song for now, it is Lira's Something Inside So Strong. Okay. My song of the week.
Let me find it. Something Inside So Strong.
Yes.
Before I introduce our next guest who's arrived, and I wanted to find out from you, being Women's Month, what does this month mean to you quickly? And also, we saw one of our own minister who is in trouble at the moment. Just your thoughts on that. I know people are watching, they've been commenting. The past 2 days we've been very hard against women abuse, and we have taken it upon ourselves as Matsgidiso 1912. We need to speak up against women abuse and any violence against women. Your thoughts on what happened in the last 2 days?
I mean, the deputy minister's situation is a very sorry one. The fact that he is not actually facing the law like all other people are. I heard he went to court yesterday by taking Ngamadala side. You know, he was not arrested like it was. I mean, Comrade Mbalula said he will be arrested, so I'm surprised why he was not arrested. But I don't support any women being abused in any form. And I would say to women that feel that they are abused in their relationships, in their situations, they must just walk away. You know, it is not worth my integrity being dealt with because I want to stay in a relationship. And this being Women's Month, I want to say it cannot just be a month. It has to be all the 12 months that we take care of our women, we respect our women, we treat them as the queens that they are. And I'm a queen, and I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm a queen. I'm telling myself that I'm a queen. Absolutely. And I hope that women as well will decide, well, they're going to be queens and they don't need kings to survive. You know, walk tall and understand that as a woman, you are valuable to the community. And in fact, to myself, I start with me. Before I look in the mirror and say, okay, go out, then I go out.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the attitude that I would like young women and women in particular to have. Don't stand for abuse. You know, it is not worth it. It is not going to give you anything. It strips your dignity away from you. So all the men take care of the women because all of us ultimately are here because of women. So respect to them is very important.
Absolutely.
Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month to you. And we've got the CDs for you. One of the songs in the blue CD, track number 7. The artist has dedicated a song to all the beautiful, amazing women. So please listen to that CD. It's by Don Dada. And the other one, Viva Mandela, which is a track dedicated to Tate Mandela.
Okay.
And
Thank
here's
you
your
very
song.
Much. Yes, I hear. Thank you very much. And to the 1912 listeners out there, keep it on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And also just quickly brief us about your portfolio. You know, how can people raise issues to fight on their behalf when we get to council?
Thank you very much, Ntate Masigo. Ke dumedise ba mamedi ba Radio 1912 and the team at large. Sanibonani, good morning. Dumelang.
Good morning, Mama.
As you said, ke Nongaba Mulwele, ke member of the ANC for starters, and then ke member ya Regional Executive Committee and Regional Working Committee ya ANC. I am deployed by the ANC to government. In the last term, I was the MMC for Health and Social Development. In this term, on the situation we are faced with as in the city of Johannesburg, I am a shadow mayoral, but I always say I'm nobody's shadow.
Yeah.
So I'm a convener for Health and Social Development. I sit in the Committee for Health and Social Development, and I am there to see that the transformation agenda of the African National Congress, as it was planned during our term under Mayor Dau, is continuing, and the programs and radiator to improve the quality of the life of the citizens of Johannesburg. So I am now playing a different role, which is an oversight role, to make sure that in place they do happen. So I still play the role because I am very passionate about the situation that we are faced with, the inequality within our city, and the conditions that some of our people are still living on, because we had a program, this is how we are going to continue with the agenda of transformation.
So let's bring it down quickly and also acknowledge some of the people that are watching us on Facebook. And before we talk about Ward 124, Sibunkosi, thank you for watching. Tato, Tatloha, Given, Beulah, William, Percy, Lipson, Lesejo, Cindy Siwe, Valencia, Tilo, Sambulo, Teboho, Sabelo, Lerato, Lova. Thank you so much for watching us on Facebook Live. And earlier on, Tilo posted, my leader, we are led in Johannesburg. and speaking about Ostili Mfikwe earlier on in our conversation. And so, Mama, let's bring it back quickly. The Issue Star Ward 124, what can we do, especially, you know, I need to bring you back so that we get more time to unpack them, because some of them that came up, kidi issues study drugs, kidi issues start prostitution, kidi issues tse lengore bo clinic, where do people get help? In a nutshell over a longer period of time. But what can we do for the people in Ward 124, especially ka portfolio ya gago?
Sipho, before ki ya Ward 124, let me first highlight the point. When we were governing the city, we had identified deprived wards within the city of Johannesburg. There were those wards with very, very deprived, and our priorities were based on those wards that were very deprived, of which Ward 124 is one of the deprived wards. If you go to Ward 124, for example, you find informal settlements as boys in Emakhoseni, where people are living under very, very difficult conditions. We visit those areas, and when you are there, you really feel why is it transformer situation with an immediate effect. So those are the areas in 124 that we are focusing on, not forgetting other areas, because situation too, it differs, you know, but there are those who are very, very deprived. If you go to Emakhoseni, for example, you would find even the ablution system, and the toilets that they are using there are not the number that is required if you compare the number of citizens or the number of residents who live there in the area. So those are the, so with the late councillor, Comrade Sidney Khadebe, we had put programs and systems in place to improve Ward 124. So unfortunately, then he left us before time. So with the incoming councillor of the African National Congress, so he will have to take up those programs of improving the quality of life of the people of Ward 124, particularly in the informal settlements. As you said, that our people are faced with issues of drugs. There are families that are dysfunctional because of drugs. There are families that are destitute. There are people who are living in, I can't even explain it, because you find it's not even a shack where they are living. If it rains, it's a problem. We met a lady there during the visit to the Deputy President, who said she dreams of a life where she wakes up in the morning and have her cornflakes. She dreams of her life where she wakes up in the morning and go and get into the shower and shower. And she was demonstrating, and you could see that, this is a dream that this lady is dreaming. And I'm telling you, it was heartbreaking. So ours, as the ANC, as I said, that our agenda is about transformation. And of course, transformation is not an overnight program. It's not an overnight thing that you can just wake up and you have transformed the whole world or the whole country. So it is progressive. So progressively, 124 was one and is still one of the areas that are on top of our agenda. So we are having dialogues. For example, we will be having a men's dialogue as part of the celebration of the Women's Month. So people would ask, so when I was in charge of the department, we had set up forums in the department, men's forums, where we discuss with men, irrespective of their ages, but particularly focusing on young men, on how to look after the nation and how to protect the nation as a man, how to protect women and children, how to love the woman next to you as a man. Because we felt if we talk about women abuse, domestic abuse, and we say we want to end violence against women and children, and we don't involve men, because in most cases women and children are abused by men who are next to them. So it is better then to make sure that the nation is built collectively by men and women involved. So even now we have resuscitated those forums at a different platform now as the African National Congress, that within the ANC we will still have those forums and have dialogues with men. So we will be having a dialogue very soon. We will communicate the date and the venue with you. We are involving churches, church leaders as well. So we are working together with church leaders and civil society leaders to have that kind of, because at the end of the day it is the responsibility of the African National Congress to end the social ills that our people are faced with. It is the responsibility of the African National Congress to end poverty. It is the responsibility of the ANC to make sure that there is equality within the nation. So the agenda of bridging the gap between the rich and the poor, the agenda of equalizing the society, it is still there. We are still championing it as leaders of African National Congress within government and outside, and even in our areas. I am working with councillors to make sure that the agenda of transformation is continuing. So we are working together with our councillors in the wards. As you know that we are in charge of 84 wards in the state of Johannesburg out of 134 wards. So we are even in those wards that are not governed by African National Congress. Because those people also need the ANC. There are people there who believe that it is only the ANC that can change their lives.
Absolutely. Mayor Noncebo Molwele, thank you so much for coming through. I would love to have you back again. Lisiba Letwaba is up next. And can we have another date with you?